Will UVA basketball players return to campus this summer? Recruiting transfers, forecasting Sam Hauser's fourth year, 2 surprise guests, and more. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the JWILLY Show. I'm Mark Jerome, and the very, very happy man sitting with me is Jason Williford. Congratulations are in order, Coach. Are you ready to start a second job as a homeschooler?
No, I am not ready to start a second job. And in fact, Mark, tonight was the last class ever for homeschooling for JWILLY. And I'm talking in the third person because JWILLY is never doing homeschool again. I will hire a tutor if these guys don't go to school in the fall, but it's over. Last day, everything's turned in. I am a happy man. In fact, I got a couple cold ones downstairs that I can't wait to crack open.
Not one, but 2 surprise guests this week. Any idea? I'm going to extend a clue.
I got no.
We talked about them last week.
I got no clue. You do this to me every time. I had no clue about Sanchez. That was a pleasant surprise. No clue about Junior. I want to say like Justin Anderson's an easy. At some point, Justin's got to come on because I always talk trash about him. So I got no clue.
All right. Well, joining us now. You ready?
Okay.
We're bringing one on now and one later.
All
joining
right.
us now. Can you see them?
No.
Cam and Austin Williford.
No way. You got my boys on here. Where are they?
I was just going to ask that. Where are you guys in the house?
We're in our mom's office.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Hey, Mark, you see she lets the boys in her office. I can't go in her office to do this.
Hey, Cam and Austin, both of you guys. So this whole COVID-19 thing has been interrupting life for everybody. As students, you guys have had to make a lot of adjustments. Are you passing all of your classes, Cam?
I'll say 50% of them. I think.
Tell the truth. Have you turned in all of your work, and are you getting stuff done on time? Tell the truth.
Now that I'm working with Grandma.
Oh, okay. You're working with Grandma. Okay. You
right,
don't
Cam.
like working with me, I know.
Overall, Cam, how has the experience been for you?
Fun, but the one challenging thing was that the schoolwork and being in front of our teachers made a big difference because they could do step by step. But with Jason over here, Dad,
boy.
he does not know what he's doing at all.
Hey, are you smarter than a 5th grader? Remember that? Yeah, I'm struggling with 4th grade math.
I don't know. 5th grade's a big leap.
Cam, over the last couple of weeks on the show, your dad has expressed some frustrations in teaching you, right?
Yep.
What can he do to improve as a teacher?
Help out more and probably just stop trying to be a teacher because we all know he cannot be a teacher.
You know, when you're a basketball coach, you're a teacher too.
Yeah. Well, the one thing that he can do is PE, but that's the easiest thing in the day. So, yeah.
PE. I'm a good PE teacher. Cam, you just said this the other day. You told me on the scale of 1 to 10, what did you rate me as a teacher?
A 3.
He's mentioned, Cam, your dad's mentioned that he's yelled a few times and shouts have reverberated throughout the house. And so for your mom and your brother to hear, and all week I've heard that, Austin, you do a great impression of your dad.
Yeah.
Can you give me an example of that?
All right. Cam, you see that clock right there? It says 2:15. By 2:30, you better be done with all your work, and I want to see it.
Do you ever hear him screaming in the house?
All the time.
What does he scream and what does he yell?
Do your work. when I get up here, you better be done with your work. And then I'll be doing my work. He's on his phone. Did you finish that? Yeah. Do your next thing, okay? Yeah. That's exactly what he does.
You know, when you guys get older and you're looking back, you're gonna have some good laughs about this, about how your dad shaped your education,
Yeah.
right?
Hey,
Boys,
you guys better say good stuff if you want ice cream or dessert tonight.
boys, thanks so much for joining, and I wish you guys all the luck with classes resuming normally in the fall, right? So that you don't have to have that experience with your dad anymore.
Bye, Dad.
Bye, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.
Oh,
All right, we're gonna get to the basketball questions now. Those kids are adorable, and people should know they're great kids. They
They're
really
good
are.
kids. They're good kids.
Kwame has
They get
done
it
an
from your
awesome
mom.
job. Yeah, I think we both agree. So the NCAA recently announced that student athletes can resume to classes, I'm sorry, not to classes, but to college campuses on June 1st. Is there a plan for UVA basketball players to return?
I'm going to have to correct you. It is called grounds, Mark. Return to grounds at UVA, not campus.
I've been told that several times.
Okay.
Just so you know.
No, as of now, our guys, none of the athletes. Summer school is first May session and first session of summer school are all online. So our guys are not coming back at the earliest, and we still don't know, would be maybe July for summer 3, and that is still up in the air. So as of now, they're all still away, and they're not allowed, even though the NCAA passed that, UVA has not allowed our guys to resume those voluntary workouts.
Okay. It looks as though the NCAA is eliminating the transfer 1-year sit-out rule, and transfers are going to be allowed to play immediately. You and I have talked about transfers a few times in the past. Parents who have contacted me about their kids wanting to transfer to UVA. What's that process like for you guys to recruit transfers?
I mean, obviously with the new portal, guys going into the portal, that changes things, because you can just go look at that site and find guys who put their names in. And so that's a quicker way of getting names. In the past, it's kind of been just word of mouth, maybe an AAU coach or somebody reaching out on behalf of a kid that was looking, a high school coach. And you kind of had your ear to the ground in that regard to transfers. Not that you would, you were tampering or calling kids to leave a program, but once you kind of got word, you just followed that. And for us, the transfers that we've gotten, Anthony Gill, Sam Hauser, obviously Trey Murphy now, were kids we kind of looked at, recruited, knew about before they went to whatever school they went to the first time. Nigel Johnson, who was a transfer, is a local kid from Northern Virginia, played with DC Assault. So we were familiar with that program. So it's kind of kids that you have some familiarity with, is how we've gone about the transfer part. But that rule, it's going to be a crazy rule. Kids will be coming and going. But I think transfers are a part of recruitment now. We're going to have to keep our ear to the ground.
Right. So when you hear about a transfer or another coach hears about a transfer, do you guys sit and meet as a group and as a unit?
Yeah.
In a war room or a meeting time and discuss it? Say, hey, we like this guy. We don't like this guy.
So we comprise a list of transfers. You kind of do your research. You do a little homework on each guy. Obviously, there's certain needs that we want, and if it was a 5th-year kid that could come and play right away, obviously you needed that kid to step on the floor, you were plugging a hole. If it was a kid in Sam's situation who's got 1 to play, Anthony had 3 to play. There has to be a need. Trey will have 2 to play, so there has to be a need positionally. But we do, as a staff, we talk about it. Is this kid a good fit? Obviously transfer for a reason. There's always reasons, and not that kids are bad or this, the situation's bad, but there's always a reason behind a transfer. So you want to make sure it's right. Braxton Key, I forgot about Braxton, but I mean, we don't make that run if Braxton wasn't eligible, and we get him eligible immediately to play, and his versatility was huge. So again, another kid that we recruited out of high school. I mean, we knew Braxton, obviously Ralph's ties and he being family, but he was a kid that went to Oak Hill that we knew about. So
Sure.
That makes it easy because you kind of already know you know the kid, you know the situation, you know their background a little more.
Right. How would you rate UVA's success in transfers coming, and then also, I mean, you have to deal with people leaving too. It's not always easy.
No, I think we've had success. I think the kids that have come in have been great for us, and in whatever capacity helped us win. Anthony Gill, for example, kind of helped lay the foundation for who we are now. I mean, he was part of those teams, and I still think some of those teams were pretty good. They often think they can beat the Ty's team and my team. That's another day's topic. We can debate that, but they were really good. So overall, I would give us probably an A on the transfers, and even the kids that have left out of our program have gone on to wherever they've gone and had success. They've been successful at the places that they went to after us. So we're doing something right when we recruit kids because they can all play. Unfortunately for some, it didn't work out here, but they were good players in their own right. And the ones we do get, they're good. Looking forward to Sam being able to show what he can do, and long term, looking forward to Trey.
Yep. Speaking of Sam, our next question is from the forum, from Big Ben Rekosh. Do you see Sam as a 3, a 4, and how does he fit into the blocker mover?
Yeah, I see Sam being able to do both spots. He'll play, small ball 4 at times, and he'll play a mover within what we do. But his ability to shoot and his feel and IQ for the game. I mean, the dude's put up, I don't know how many points. He probably had 1,000 points before coming to UVA, just at Marquette. So his experience is invaluable, knowing how to play. He'll play wherever we put him. I mean, he's that type of player. And so we're looking forward to him. But he can play both forward spots in our offense.
Okay, great. Next question is from our recruiting guru, Hoozgotnext.
Okay.
Were you able – we talked a lot about transfers, and we talked a lot about recruits.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time when you didn't think you really had a chance for a recruit and you were able to land him?
That we didn't have a chance? I'll tell you, we got Justin Anderson because Gary Williams retired, and Justin got out of that verbal. So we were fortunate there. The kid that's the craziest, personally for me, recruitment, and the kid that we got was DeAndre Hunter. Dre never wanted to talk on the phone. He still doesn't. He hardly ever texts back. And Tony would be like, Jay, is he interested? Do we have a shot? And I'm like, Tone, I'm just telling you what the brother's telling me, what Aaron's saying, and what Miss Priscilla's saying. Keep doing what you're doing. We got a shot. And so we circled his his AAU program, the high school coach, brother, mom, everybody. And we just tried to circle that thing. But we got nothing from Dre in regards to communication. So you just never knew where you stood. But we were able to get him. It was the craziest recruitment because you couldn't talk to him. One time I remember I said, Aaron, you got to go get him, pull him out of the barbershop. This is like 10:30 at night. He's getting his hair cut. I said, Tony wants to talk to him. Please go get him and put him on the phone because Tone doesn't think he's sincere and we got a shot. And he did it for us and we ended up getting him. But crazy. I mean, he's just so quiet. You know him.
I do.
But we end up getting him.
But once she gets going,
oh, listen, I see him around his guys.
Yeah.
He's the clown. Like he's the guy that stirs the pot.
Right.
But whenever he's around people that he just doesn't know well, or the coaching staff, he plays this real introverted, shy guy, and he's totally not that once you get to know him.
Our next guest is coming on a little bit earlier. I'm not sure if you can see it than we actually wanted to, but that's okay. That's fine. Our second surprise guest is brought to you by Moji Masala, Indian spice that is absolutely delicious. Please reach out, try it. It is you won't be upset. You will be.
Hey Mark,
completely satisfied.
Of that, the mushroom recipe that they sent me was off the chains.
Have you tried the chicken wings?
Not the mushroom, the cauliflower.
Yeah.
Cauliflower, big time.
Have you tried the chicken wing recipe yet?
Not yet.
Outstanding.
The cauliflower was big time.
Yeah. And the guy that started Moji Masala, do you know where he played?
No.
Maryland.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
He's
he actually played against you.
He's a Turk.
He's a Turk. And he actually helped recruit our next guest, who's just joined us, Walt Williams.
Oh, no. Oh, no. The wizard.
So J.D. Walsh, I think he was a freshman.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys were the same year. I can't remember.
No,
but I called J.D. Walsh. I said, let's get Walt on.
Yes.
And Walt, here he is.
Hey,
Walt,
Wiz,
thanks so much for joining us.
Hey, Wiz, I was telling a story about you my first year, my freshman year, and you probably I probably wasn't even on the scouting report. You probably had no idea who this skinny, light-skinned dude was. And we get tangled up a little bit. Junior Burrow was telling the story. I said, man, Walt didn't know me. I just know them damn sharp elbows. What's up, Wiz?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good.
That's what's
Well,
up.
but I don't know if I told you, the funny part was all week, in preparation to play you guys,
Yeah.
Jay Willie was you on the scout team.
No doubt.
So he wore the socks up high, right? He was talking trash to his teammates, saying Walt's going to give you guys the business. And then unsuspectingly, he gets in the game.
I
And then
had
he's
no
part of
clue
you.
they would put me in the
says,
game.
he says you hit him with an elbow.
Hey, Wiz, you remember that year you gave us, you probably averaged 32 on that. You got like 34 and 31. Like you killed us that year.
Man, yeah, it was always tough playing against you guys, man. Brian Stiff, man, he was a beast out there. So, you guys always had some talented players, like yourself, Junior, Crotty,
Yep.
Corey Alexander. I mean, list goes on and on. I was telling the guys the other day when I was a freshman, I remember this kid, his name Richard Morgan.
Yeah.
I mean, that dude used to get buckets out there, man. He was somebody I always remembered.
I call him Tricky Dick. His best story was when his senior day, he scored like 30 plus.
That was on us.
And he runs in the stands and his mom, he kisses his mom when they sub him in. He don't even go to the bench. He goes straight to his mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took a lap around the gym and then he ran up into the stands, man. That's true.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Great rivalry. What did you think when Maryland left the ACC for the Big Ten?
Oh man, that was a tough one right there. But it was a decision that had to be made. You talking about Cash? to the university and upgrading things around the university. So, you know, when that opportunity presents itself, you have to do what you have to do. In my opinion, by that time, the ACC was already changing, man. It was like 15 teams in the ACC. So the history that I know had already changed anyway. So it was a no-brainer to me.
Right. Well, what 2 questions do you have for Jay Willie?
Uh-oh.
Look, I gotta know this, man. How was it playing with my boy Junior Barrows, man?
Hey, it was easy for me, Wiz, because I just threw it to him. He was a bucket, man.
Yeah.
You give it to him, you weren't gonna get it back. So you had to get yours quick. Because if you gave it to him, he was a black hole.
Yeah.
I remember his freshman year, Junior probably had 3 assists total for the season. but the dude had phenomenal footwork, could score on that block, could shoot, shot it face into about 17. He just was a load down there, man. Could go either hand. So I ain't mind giving him the ball, man. I threw it to him and got out his way.
That's what's up.
Before we get to the next question, we were podcasting with Junior Burrow earlier today, the Locker Room Access crew, me, Dougie Fresh, and T Dubs.
Oh, yeah?
And he talked about a couple of things. He mentioned that he said 7 assists. I had to correct him because I looked it up. It was actually 8 assists all year. So you weren't too far off.
Yeah.
So clearly he liked to shoot it, right?
Oh, goodness.
The other thing he told us was that Jay Willie, you were a little bit of a trash talker. When you guys played Kansas, right, in the Sweet 16 to go to the Elite 8,
Yeah.
at the end of the game, when you were beating them, Greg Ostertag is crying and go to the free throw line, and you say to him, "Stop crying, play harder."
I said something like
any
that.
recollection?
I said something like that. I talk trash, man. It was just, it's a product of where, look, I'm a Richmond boy, grew up playing on the playground. Whereas you from the DMV. I watched that thing with y'all. What was the thing on Showtime with?
In the water.
Yeah, so I saw that. But being from Virginia, being from Richmond, man, you talk trash on that's how you played, man. You had to hold your own. So I probably said something like that. It's no crying in basketball, big fella. Stop crying.
Well, you ready for your second question?
Yeah, man. So being as though you played in your era, but now you coaching in this one, what would you say is the biggest difference, or the top 2 biggest difference in between how they play the game now and at the college level as opposed to our day?
I think the biggest difference is the spacing on the floor. I think kids shoot that ball, man, from way beyond what our range was. Now, I shouldn't say that, beyond my range. Whereas you shot that ball.
Soon I cross half court, Willie.
But I think everybody, it ain't just guards that's shooting the 3. I think dudes are shooting the 3, spacing the floor. I think the ball handling has gotten better across the board. And I think the kids, I just think they're bigger, stronger today, man. They're better athletes than we were. I still think our feel and IQ for the game might be a little better than now. But these dudes, man, their ability to shoot it is unbelievable. Y'all hear my big monster downstairs.
Well, would you agree with that? Would you say the same?
Well, I would, because I think the key element to it all is that a big difference is that in our day, they allowed us to be a lot more physical on the perimeter. We could use our hands a lot more. And so that nullified a lot of guys' quickness and athleticism. So it always reverted back to what is your skill set like. So now when you take hands off, you give a little bit of more weight to the quickness of a guy and athleticism, and now you develop that type of player, and I think that's what we have today. And it makes for a more exciting game when you see these guys are so athletic, and you take a little bit of the physicality away, and that leads to more scoring out there. And so I think it's a better way to play the game, to not be as physical on the perimeter. I wish I could play in this day and age for sure.
Hey, I wasn't athletic, so I needed to put the elbow on the field, folks. But like Wizard says, Mark, we got, I mean, Jay Huff at 7'1" is stretching the floor, shooting threes, and back then that was unheard of. You 7 foot, you down on that block, and they're gonna make you score with your back to the basket. So I just think the game has changed in that regard. So
yeah, the game was played inside out back in the day. Now it's, you know, it's outside in now.
Right, sure. Well, you broadcast Maryland home games. Both teams were going to make the tournament this year. If UVA ended up playing Maryland in the tournament, what do you think would have happened?
Oh, I think the Terps would have got with them for sure.
What's he supposed to say? He's supposed to say that. Or
He's the broadcaster
next year.
He's a broadcaster. He's supposed to be objective.
No, I think that the Terps, the depth that they have, but also, and you know about this, Willie, the combination of having some depth and guys who can do different things, multiple guys who can do different things out on the court throughout the course of the game. But when it's crunch time, they also had a guy, Anthony Cowan, and Sticks was pouring on late as well. So two guys that you can understand that you can count on late in the game. And that's important, not for just the opposition to understand that late in the game, we're going to have to deal with this guy, but to let your teammates know too, and your coaching staff know too, that, you know, and that's in the course of practice, that you understand that I'm the guy you're going to be able to count on when it's crunch time. It's important that you let your teammates and your coaching staff know that as well. So I think those two guys did a good job towards the end of the season, establishing that.
I can see a good matchup between Sticks and Jay Huff and Kihei Clark and Anthony Collins.
But Mark, Wizard gotta say that, or they ain't gonna pay him next year to broadcast. He's supposed to say that. And just like I'm supposed to say, we would have been ready for that.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? What you can say is that you got to win last year, right? At Maryland.
There you go.
Well, thanks so much for joining us. You're a pleasure. And one day I have to tell everybody the story about how our small world story.
Yes.
When we were talking yesterday. Incredible.
So
random. If we missed each other, if I was in another place by 1 minute, that story doesn't happen.
Right.
Wiz, good to see you, brother, man. Hey,
good to see you too,
stay
man.
safe, man, up there. And I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah, man. And I'll see you around. You know, you guys, my son, you know, here in the ACC, you know, with Boston College. So I'll see you around, man, for sure.
All right, man. Good
Well,
talking to you.
congratulations on all your success.
All right.
Pleasure.
That's crazy, Mark. We just tell a story about how we get to tossing and talking trash, and he pops up on the screen this week. Good dude, though, man. Good dude.
Oh, I had such a pleasure talking to him.
Oh,
JT
good
Dubs
dude.
and I were on the phone with him for about 30 minutes.
Good dude. Good ambassador for Maryland's program. Good guy.
And also just a really, really nice dude.
Yeah, no, good guy.
Really nice
Good
dude.
guy.
Yeah, great player too. 11-year NBA player, right?
Yep.
Were you surprised at the guest again?
I was. I totally surprised that my boys jumped on. It's funny because I said to Cam, I want to get you on one of the shows where you just come and sit with me and you can say hi and talk and whatever. And he shows up. He pops up. That's crazy.
Well, we want to congratulate you once again for getting through the school year, right?
I got a cold beer downstairs waiting up. And look, this goes against my meal plan and the weight loss regimen that I'm on, but I am popping one tonight, Mark.
You deserve it.
Thanks, man.
Clearly, you deserve it.
Thank you.
Everyone, thanks so much for checking us out. Please, while you're watching, just hit the subscribe button, like us, and check us out on Apple and Spotify. For JWILLY, I'm Mark Jerome, giving you locker room access on the JWILLY Show.
I want you guys to just take a look at each other. Just kind of remember this moment. I want you to look at each other, the guys that played for us before, the guys who've been part of this. Do me a big favor. We played that song.
Get in here, Sody. Get in here.
We played that song. Look, this city's not going to change us. Do this for me. promise me you guys will remain so humble and so thankful through this all. This is unbelievable. It is. But stay humble and stay so thankful. You just experienced something so good. And these guys built the foundation, and you guys just built on it and built on it. It's unbelievable. So I just give thanks. You know how I feel about you guys, and about this is really about family. What you experienced, just think of that quote. Think of that quote at the start of the year. If you learn to use it right, it will buy you a ticket to a place you couldn't have gone any other way. What you endured, how faithful you stayed, man, it bought you a ticket to a national championship, but it drew us closer together. It drew you closer to your family. It made you so hungry to be players. I think it made us better coaches. I don't know about that, but I just know that there was a plan, and it's beautiful. This is family. So let's bring it in and say family. This was our united pursuit. You know that. Come on, yeah. Yes, sir. Family on 3. 1, 2, 3. Family.